How's it going, everybody? It's Sean here, and I'm here today to give you guys a review of the Kith collaboration with Asics in this X-Men collection in the Wolverine 1980 colorway. So I'm sure most of you watching has already seen my legendary unboxing video where I unboxed 3 mystery boxes and received 3 exact same shoes. And even though you probably know how I feel about this colorway, I still feel like it deserves a proper review, so that's the reason I'm back today with this video. So this shoe, for those who aren't familiar with it, is part of a greater X-Men collection celebrating the X-Men's 60th anniversary. So headlining this collaboration with Kith, they released 7 colorways of the Asics Gel-Lyte 3, representing 6 legendary X-Men characters, with 2 colors representing Wolverine. So this one in the brown and red colorway, this represents the suit he wore during the 1980s, which was originally introduced in the comic Uncanny X-Men number 139, and the costume itself was designed by legendary comic book artist John Byrne. So the retail price for each mystery box was $195 US or $265 here in Canada, and the official colorway for this shoe is Gold and Bossa Nova. And 6 of the pairs were limited to 2,500 pairs each, with the more limited blue and yellow Wolverine colorway. That one was the more rare one of the 7, and there was roughly 416 pairs for that one. And officially, this shoe is named the Gel-Lyte 3 07 Remastered, and why it's called this is because Ronnie Fieg and Asics, they reworked the look and the silhouette of the Gel-Lyte 3 to make it look closer to the look of the Gel-Lyte 3 back in 2007, which represents the very first year that Ronnie Fieg and Asics collaborated together. So like I mentioned in the Gambit review, over time the Gel-Lyte 3 has sort of changed in shape, so this 07 remastered version tweaks the look and the shape of the shoe in various places to give it more of that classic mid-2000s Gel-Lyte 3 look. So diving straight into the details of this pair, on the toe box you'll see the base layer of the shoe is constructed out of a very soft pigskin suede. We have these small perforations found throughout this entire toe box, and then surrounding the front toe cap, we have a very premium dark brown colored leather which has a shiny and smooth look to it in real life. On the lateral side we have these 2 diagonal cutouts revealing this red colored leather underneath, and then covering the eyelets of the shoe we have more of that yellow colored suede, but the middle 2 eyelets are constructed out of a white colored TPU, which to me kind of reminds me of Wolverine's eyes. Underneath this on the mid panel we have more of that perforated yellow colored suede, and then stitched on top of this we have the signature Asics stripes. This is done in a smooth red colored leather and extends downwards towards the back of the shoe as well. Underneath this, running down the bottom of the shoe, we have more of that dark brown leather, and we have another overlay of this brown leather surrounding the bottom of the heel too. And then embroidered on the lateral side, we have Gel-Lyte 3 branding, which is stitched on in this yellow color. And then above this, we have Asics gel branding, which is done in this reflective 3M finish, with a red colored netting which is overlaid on top. Above this we have more yellow colored suede, and we have Asics embroidered across in this tonal finish in yellow. And then on the bottom of the heel, we have this yellow colored TPU heel clip, which gives you added structure and support surrounding the back end of the sneaker. In typical Asics and Kith style, these come with 3 different lace options. So the standard default lace are the iconic rope laces. This is done in a mix of yellow and red, but they also give you 2 other flat style laces as well if you're not a fan of that signature rope style lace look. Underneath the laces we have your signature split style tongue, which is common across every Gel-Lyte 3. So the tongue itself is covered in a stretchy nylon material, and it's done in a tonal yellow color. Embroidered on the lateral side of the right foot we have Ronnie Fieg's last name, and then embroidered on the left foot we have the X-Men logo. The back end of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in a red color textile, and then we have the Kith and Marvel co-branded tag which is stitched onto the back end of the tongue. As far as the insoles go, so these come with your typical foam lined insole, and on the right foot we have Asics and Kith co-branding on the heel, and then on the left foot we have the word mark for Wolverine. Underneath the insole, you'll see that these Gel-Lyte 3s are actually board lasted, which was a nice touch. And then as we move on to the midsole of the shoe, so the upper of the sneaker, it sits atop this full-length EVA foam midsole, which is colored in white on the forefoot and the heel, but this middle portion, this is given more of a cream or off-white tone to it. And encased within the shoe, we do have Asics gel technology which sits underneath the heel, and this helps with impact protection and shock absorption. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this outsole is entirely constructed out of a black colored rubber. This is your exact same outsole as any other Gel-Lyte 3, and we do have the Asics logo found right in the middle. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Wolverine Gel-Lyte 3s. And for those wondering about sizing, so these fit like any other Gel-Lyte 3 07 Remastered, so it's definitely much more of a snug fitting shoe. My foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. And getting these in a size 10, which is true to size, the length of the shoe is fine. There's about a finger's width space between the top of the toe and the top of the shoe. So the length is good. The width around this forefoot area, this is a little bit snug, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable for me. But the biggest issue I have with the fit of this model is around the tongue area of the sneaker. So to me, it's a bit difficult to really close up the tongue flaps. I really have to tighten up the laces super tight. Otherwise, the socks that I'm wearing are gonna be showing through this middle section of the tongue. So if you have a really wide midfoot or a really high instep, you're probably gonna have some difficulties fitting into this shoe. But if you don't mind your socks being exposed, then you could go true to size. But I know some people that prefer to go up a half size, even though in my experience, going up a half size, it didn't solve the issue of the tongue flaps being tough to close. I still had that exact same issue. I just had a lot more length of the shoe, which kind of bugged me. So long story short, narrow or normal width footers, go true to size if you like more of a snug one-to-one fit. But if you have a wider foot, either stay away from this shoe or you could go up a half size, but it won't necessarily solve the issue of the tongue flaps not being able to close. Moving on to the comfort, so the Gel-Lyte 3 in my opinion is a pretty comfortable shoe for everyday casual use. Even though the tech within the shoe is pretty basic, for some reason I've always enjoyed the foam that the Gel-Lyte 3 uses. It leans more towards the softer side of things, but because there is gel cushioning underneath, there is that added layer of responsiveness, so it's not going to be an overly soft and mushy feeling sneaker, but especially for a retro shoe, it's a bit more on the pillowy side and soft side. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so I gotta say the quality of the materials was really solid. Just like the Gambit pair, I was really impressed with how the materials were in person. So for example, the pigskin suede, it felt very buttery to the touch and you can see the hairs of the suede. And then the leathers that they use on the shoe, this might have been even better. It really feels like a premium cut of leather, almost something you'd see on a high-end dress shoe, for example. And I came away feeling extremely impressed. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, for the most part, it was solid. The stitch job was good, it wasn't perfect, but it was good. There were some minimal glue stains around where the midsole meets the upper, but for the most part, I felt like the overall build of the shoe was really good. So yes, the price point of the shoe is a bit more on the higher side, but I really think it reflects through the materials used and the build of the sneakers. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. So while the build and the materials of the shoe were top notch, my specific issue with this Wolverine pair was the colorway itself. So it's a couple things. Growing up, to me, Wolverine was always yellow, black, and blue, and this brown costume came before my time, so I can't really relate to it, and I don't really see Wolverine when I look at this shoe. And also, just objectively speaking, I think the color combination of red, this specific dark shade of yellow, and the really dark brown, I don't really think it goes that well together. But the beauty of the 7-pair collection is that there's no true number one. It seems like everyone has their own opinion of which is best and which pairs they don't like, and that's something I really enjoyed about this collection. And you guys all know that I picked up 3 pairs of these, and at the time that I'm filming this, though I don't have them in hand yet, these are verbal confirmations, but I do have a trade set up for a Cyclops pair, one for a Storm pair, and then I have one more pair, which is this one right here. So if anyone wants to trade me this pair for their Beast, both in a size 10, hit me up on IG, comment down below, or on Twitter, because I'd be definitely down to trade with you. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this Wolverine 1980 colorway? How do you rank this in your list of 7? And how'd you do in today's drop on Kith.com? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I know this wasn't nearly as entertaining as my unboxing video, but I appreciate the views and the support nonetheless. So thanks again, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.